Greetings, fellow Gothamites. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And we're here to recap. We're here to recap the second episode of the second season. Oh, twos. Got to love the twos of Fox's retelling of the Dark Knight mythology. Yes, so join us as we venture into Batman's birthplace.
And explore Gotham.
Oh, dear. Oh, so incredibly over the top. Kind of like the show itself, right, BlueDragonFive?
Absolutely.
Okay, so, dear God, man, it's been a couple days since this episode, but man, I throughout these two episodes of Gotham so far, just to kind of set the stage, I've been really impressed with season 2. I think that they've really upped the game. Every individual scene kind of means something to the overall narrative. And I'll make the comparison in terms of, like, it feels more like, remember you were telling me about Agent Carter, and you were saying, like, oh, Agent Carter, like, every episode feels like, what, like 5 episodes of Agent S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, basically,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
moves at it's a lot more in one episode than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. does.
And so that's what I feel like the comparison between Gotham Season 1 and Season 2 is. Like, in 2 episodes, we've gotten so much story that I feel like we've gotten probably about 6 or 7 episodes worth of story that we would have got in Season 1. And I feel like it's moved at a really quick pace, and I like it. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of violence, a lot of brutality, and a lot of obvious in-your-face, like, hey, look at this guy. He's totally going to be the Joker. But anyways, I enjoyed this one, though. What do you think?
Oh, I thought it was, again, so far they're 2 for 2 this season. I mean, 2 examples of really fine episodes. Again, different taste for both of them. You're absolutely right about the pacing thing, because look at episode 1. Episode 1, the whole Penguin Gordon deal, that would have taken probably like 3 episodes.
Oh my God, no, it's like Penguin and Gordon had a deal throughout the first season that took like literally like half the season to pay off.
I gotta tell you, rewatching this one, having some time to stew on this one, I made some interesting revelations, and also I've seen some promos that have kind of revealed like the interesting direction I think the show's going on. This episode is it validates that. It's looking really good. This episode is a lot of fun.
It is. Give me an O!
Oh!
Give me an in! All right. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Okay, so let's just dive straight into the episode.
As Marie Schrader would say, knock, knock. No, damn it, Marie, it's not knock, knock, it's knock, knock. You got to put your fist into it.
Okay, so the episode starts with the Galvan and the mayor with a box on his head having a little chat. This scene feels very Red Dragon to me, scene between the Red Dragon and Freddie Lowndes. Yeah,
I can totally see that. It's just got a twisted sensibility to it.
Yet again, some hilarity. Just the mayor with it's like a lot of dark 60s in this episode.
It's incredibly dark, but at the same time, if any character on the show deserves this, it's probably the mayor. So I'm saying we have to laugh.
Your audience is be aware. You kind of it's freezier than we anticipate.
Okay, I'm aware.
But but it's just so. It's so ridiculous, he has this box on his head, but it's also it's so dark and twisted though. It's like you can imagine this on the '60s show, like a guy having a box on his head, but now it just has this dark sincerity behind it in a way. Like, yeah, he's putting the box in your head, he's making you perfectly aware of that, like a serial killer. Again, like a lot like Red Dragon, like the whole "Tell me what you see, Mr. Lowndes. I'm going to tell you my motivation, Mr. Lowndes, and I want you to listen. You are an ant in the afterbirth." That sort of stuff, real creepy.
And then speaking of mind games, what kind of mind games does Galvan pull here?
So Galvan here, he's basically says, "Well, Mr. Mayor, I view myself as an ardent student of human nature." He's basically speaking to that, saying, in front of you there was a jar with, and he taps on the glass. We the audience can see there's no spider in there, at least as far as we can see. It looks like just the glass, one of his fancy glasses that he made Zarlan the Soul Reaper drink from. First episode, one of those fancy glasses he has. Anyways, he's tapping the glass. Mara doesn't see this, and he says, option A. Basically bluffs him that a spider that is within that jar will be put into his box. A hairy spider. I think it's a tarantula, but spiders aren't really my forte, my expertise. Option B, and of course the mayor's terrified. Again, he's played wonderfully by Richard Kind. We love this guy. He always plays a fun, cowardly, slimy mayor. Again, he's not like an evil human being. He's just like real slimy and I'm just trying to.
He's verging on the edge of evil for me, but
I think he's more incompetent than evil. That's the thing. He's just.
I guess so. That's the thing.
He's more just like it's like Bullock trying to stay being corrupt to survive. Only the mayor does just much more. He doesn't just much more comedically. Okay, anyway, so basically option B is you will call your lovely secretary, I think it was like Maggie, something. It's lovely, he knows the name of the secretary, Option B, you will call your lovely secretary, and you'll be saying you've run away with a beautiful woman, and you'll be sending written instructions.
So what'll it be? Oh, please, I choose option B.
Option B. And then he unlocks the little face hole, the little locker on his head, the locker box, and he says, "See, there's no spider, but that's human nature. Of course, you picked option B, but I assure you, even without a spider, it'll be much worse for you if you don't do what I tell you to." And then
what this reminded me of? The whole spider bit.
What?
It reminded me of the awesome bit from the 2004 Punisher movie with a popsicle.
Ah, yes, the popsicle.
I love that popsicle, man.
Thomas Jane was a good Punisher.
The flame from this, the flame will feel so hot that it'll actually feel cold. Like that, I don't know. I'm doing it an injustice. But I love that scene, though. That scene sticks out of my mind.
Absolutely. So,
okay.
So basically, no spider.
But your brand popsicle. Seriously, make it happen.
Little skulls on the sticks and
stuff. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Instead of little like fortune or little joke, it's gonna say like a Punisher thread of like, find you.
Oh God.
Anyways, let's see. So basically, Mayor's asking, well, why are you doing this? Like, you're not gonna why do this? And basically, Gallivan says, oh, don't fret. You're part of a grand endeavor. Monsters are coming. Monsters, Mr. Mayor. Monsters are going to cleanse this city in blood and fire. It's a really great line.
Yeah, really cool delivery by him.
So you see, Gallivan so far is grabbing me. It's kind of a classy fish moon. I'm really liking it.
Gallivan's grabbing me. I have issues with his sister, though. I think his sister is very one-dimensional.
Again, early into it, though. I think we just get. I hear they have plans for us. I'm confident they're.
I really hate to say this, but I feel like the sister is kind of like, oh God, I hate to say this, but from what I've seen, it's just like. Evil and strong, independent woman.
Well, by looking at them, I think you can tell. They seem to be cut from different cloths. A little more violent, a little more calculated. And I think it might explore like, if you say these two characters are brother and sister, you might want to. There's an option there for an interesting story. Like, why? What's the story behind these two? Like, why are they coming back to Gotham? I think we're going to get that explained, I think.
I mean, I have an issue with one of the scenes coming up with the sister, but we'll get to that.
I think she's just psychotic. We'll see. All right, anyways.
That's my point. She's not as deep. I feel like Gallivan has a lot more complexity than she does.
Well, that's the thing. I think I don't know. I'm going to give benefit of the doubt. So far, they give me no reason not to give a benefit of the doubt on that.
Okay, fair enough.
Anyways, then we're at the Gotham Gazette, which, by the way, is where Vicky Vale one day will work. Gotham Gazette.
Right.
So we're at the Gotham Gazette building. Not exactly a Daily Bugle or Daily Planet type scene, but it's more like wait, this is your story. The mayor's run away with a woman, with a girlfriend, the mysterious lover. We can do better than this. People get me headlines. And as he's saying this in the background, there's a really nice space they got here with the shot here. It's like in the background, right directly behind this guy. People are falling from the building, screaming to their death as they, plummet and splat.
It's a little horrifying. I gotta say. It's a very dark way to start the episode.
It's very Balloon Man-esque of like there's people just falling to their deaths in Gotham like rain.
I think it's a little worse than Balloon Man. I think it's more graphic than that.
It's raining cats and dogs. No, it's raining dead bodies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, boom. Got me with a zinger in the end. Anyway, so
Okay.
as the bodies are falling, they kind of they turn. He turns around and he realizes. Then we see what's causing these raining bodies from the heavens. It's actually on top of the Gotham Gazette building. We have Jerome, Amygdala, and company, and basically they're dropping bodies here and arranging them in such a way, which we're going to see in a really cool reveal shot. Like, why Jerome say a little to the right, a little to the right, and then
give me Mr. X.
Mr. X, a little red spray painted X on him. He's dropped, and we're assuming they're spelling out something, and either that or they're playing the most complex game of Scrabble I've ever seen.
Oh God.
Basically, then they have a spare, and then Dobkin says, "What do we do with the spare?"
Oh, I love this.
And Jerome says, I have an idea. So basically he sprays something on him, which I think we can assume instantly is an exclamation point, just given how the spray paint's there. And Amygdala drops him off the roof, and then perfect. Then we see the overhead reveal shot of their name being out there right in front of the press. It spells Maniacs.
Now that's the headline. You know what else that is, BlueDragonFive?
A lot of murder?
No, it's a damn good cold open.
Yes.
Give it up. They did it.
I had a feeling you were going to like that.
Yes, you know me. I'm always on the lookout for when that title comes up.
You are. Okay, so cutting back from that, we started in the GCPD.
Yes. Essence is kind of laying stuff out and says that Gordon has a lead. So we're introduced to everyone. Jerome Velasca killed his mother. Let's see. We have Arnold Tompkins, schizophrenic. Aaron Helsinger killed his entire family with his bare hands. Robert Greenwood murdered and ate a dozen women. Whoa. And then it goes to Barbara, and he gets just a little bit sentimental, and it's just like Barbara Keene killed her parents. Are you there? Hello? Oh, dear God. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, good. We're going on. A little technical difficulty, folks. I may be going in and out. Hopefully not.
That scared me because I thought I was having the technical difficulty.
Well, you were, but then you came back, and then it was me.
Oh dear. We're on a roll here.
Dang it, Barbara.
Fuck you, Barbara. Come on.
Yes.
We gave Barbara some slack for like one episode, but now no.
Yep. Okay.
Because you know why, BlueDragonFive? Because James might still have some goddamn feelings for Barbara.
No. Tiki, believe me, he doesn't. I'll explain why when we get to it. He doesn't.
We'll see. All right. Anyways.
Don't worry. That's a bullet dodge. You'll see. Okay. Anyway, so basically, Essence going through the briefing.
I still think what he did was incredibly stupid and out of character.
We'll get to it.
All right.
And so basically, Essence going through the motions of the briefing here, saying 6 inmates were freed. They've kidnapped and killed people from Yelling's shipyard, and we have no leads. And Gordon takes the lead on walking people through. It's like any manhunt on escapees in a police station. It's a neat little thing, a little projector too. Again, they're keeping kind of the timeless feeling, which I liked.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an overhead projector to do this thing. I really like that. It's a little subtle touch. Basically, it's going to Jerome Velasquez, killed his mother. Aaron, basically Amygdala. Okay, I forget
Aaron Helsinger.
Yeah, Aaron Helsinger killed his entire family. Dobkins, he killed and Tiki's frozen.
No, I'm back.
Oh no, it's back.
Are you there? Hello?
Hello, I'm back. Sorry, folks. I'll let him think.
What the hell is happening? Should I refresh or what?
No, I think you're good.
Are you sure?
I cut out for a second there just a moment ago. But,
oh God, this is scaring me. Let's go through it. Let's get through
go
this.
Go through it. Okay, go through the rest of them. So Robert Greenwood, he's the cannibal. He ate 12 women.
Yeah, he's the cannibal. He ate 12 women, which is quite an accomplishment.
Yeah,
I must say. And then he gets to Barbara Keene, and the music kind of swells up, and he's like, Barbara Keene.
Kill their parents. Okay, now, mini gripe here. There's no mention of of Richard Sionis. They don't know he's dead.
That's true. That's true.
I'm just saying, a little, you understand, well, you can't remind people this guy's not going to matter to the story, but still, I mean, they have no idea that he's dead. They just said 6 people were broken out. There's 1 through 5.
All right, fair enough. I think that's a plot hole. That can I
well, to be fair, the promo addressed this. The promo went through all 6 of them for like going through that, but yeah.
Oh, do they? Okay.
But again, I guess they just figured. Well,
I assume they just cut it out because the audience will get confused and they'd be like, "Wait, didn't Sionis die the last episode?"
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so looks like the GCPD's on Jim's side, which is good. You know, it's a nice change of pace, and again, it's going to be kind of a dark reflection of what we're going to get later on, like the GCPD full of cops striving for the same goal, actually working on stuff under Gordon, and then. Well, you're going to see how that again. Gordon in a spacious room full of cops never ends well, really. Either they leave the room or bad stuff happens to them. Okay, meanwhile, then we have breakfast time, and again, it's all about pleasantries, Dylan.
Pleasantries, Dylan.
Just showing that Gallivan much better than Nick Ford. He's providing a nice donut breakfast for his for his associates. And I got that. It's really nice. That was a nice, delectable looking plate there, by the way. So, you should all give yourselves a hand. You made the front page. Now we're talking about, we should discuss our grand entrance. Wait, and this is interesting. Jerome saying, well, wait, wasn't that our grand entrance? No, that was the overture. The curtain rises. So.
You know what else rises?
What rises, Tiki?
The fire rises.
So basically, Gallivan's kind of feeding the fire here. He's saying, well, we're going to take their hope. And I love he's like massaging Jerome's shoulders here and just showing, what happens next?
Then what happens?
Take their hope, offer a solution, and then ours. Yeah.
So Jerome really getting off on the idea of hurting some people and making some people suffer.
Remember, he loves seeing people in pain. It amuses him. Mm-hmm. So basically,
can we just call this guy the fucking Joker now?
Not exactly. And I'll tell you why when we get the spec.
Just no, he's the Joker.
No, there's Stig. Let's just say we have an inkling that they might be doing more than one Joker this season.
I don't know about that. Okay.
I tried to show you the evidence before the show.
That's true. Okay, well, we'll see.
Anyway, so basically, Galvin's telling about the stagecraft. And you guys got to learn some stagecraft. Why? But you guys are going to be on TV. The minute he said this, I was thinking, oh my God, this is the perfect way to cultivate a Joker. That's what he's doing. He's cultivating a Joker.
So he's asking everyone to say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen." Dawkins' delivery isn't quite up to speed. He's just like, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen."
A little more feeling in it.
Say it with a smile. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen."
Then Greenwood gives it a try. It's still not quite there. And Jerome.
He has a decent delivery, but it's not quite up to snuff.
Jerome's yawning.
Aaron, and then he just passes on Aaron. He's like, never mind.
Just stuffing his face and just looking at him like, nah, this guy's not going to be it.
And then Jerome just puts on his showman's hat and just jumps on the table, changes up the line even. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, good evening."
Good evening.
Oh yes.
And they're blown away. Very nice. Right? That's the boy's charm. He lets off a little laugh.
The laugh's fabulous. Keep that.
Very nice. And just again, the theatricality and the presentation. It's kind of neat seeing So what they're doing here with Jerome is here's what's so clever about it, Tiki. Mm-hmm. It's that I love this idea they're laying it that Gallivan is molding Jerome here, and kind of in a way he's either inspiring Joker, or what most likely could happen is definitely if he is or is not Joker, he's Jerome. I'm thinking after his crime spree here, it's going to, if not be him as Joker, it's going to inspire people to be Joker.
I don't know. That could be. I don't know. It's
regardless.
I just think it's so obvious now that it's like they shouldn't even beat around the bush with it at this point. And if he's not the Joker, then I just think it's just kind of like manipulative because it's so obvious that he is.
Well, think about it like this. If he isn't Joker, think about this interesting idea, Tiki, that if Bruce Wayne down the line, as Batman, will inspire, all these people to kind of, step and be their own Batmans in a way.
So you're saying Jerome is inspiring the enemy for Bruce Wayne?
It's like this, the Jerome is going to inspire what could be like a series of Jokers, at least inspire what one day could be a Joker.
I don't know. I got to tell you, at this point, I'm sold on Jerome as the Joker from an acting point of view. Like, I like this actor. It took me a while to warm up to him, but now I'm kind of on board with him. So
I'm just viewing it as it's a win-win scenario, I think.
I guess so. Anyways,
either way,
can we move on to the hilarious antics of Barbara Keene?
All right. Moving on. So after Jerome getting some theatricality and his presentation skills from Gallivan, who walks in but Babs and Tabs.
Yeah. And this is the scene with the sister that I just kind of was like, really?
Well, basically, they're literally because it looks like they're getting along, and as they're getting along, they're bored. They're bored whipping the mayor to kill time, so they're asking, what are we going to do here? What are we doing?
It's ridiculous and stupid.
Okay, what's ridiculous and stupid about it precisely?
Everything. The fact that Barbara is just... Like, at this point, it's not even a character development anymore. It's just, like, Barbara is super crazy and evil now. Like, we're not even getting any layers to it anymore. And that's kind of what's bothering me. That's why it's getting back to pissing me off a little bit.
Well,
look, I'm as big of a fan as Goofy Barbara as the next guy, but I don't know.
Well, let me say this. I think it's the idea that she's just bored right now, and there's both boards as whipping the mayor.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they're just bored and they're beating the mayor around. I mean, they probably have the whole mansion to do whatever the fuck they want. I don't know. And then they're all talking about like, oh, when's it gonna be my turn? Why do the boys get to have all the fun?
Well, that's just banter they have to kind of have, like because all the boys are getting to work right now. That's what's patient.
Be patient.
And I think because of the role Barbara has in this episode, I mean, I'm going to speculate on kind of the cost of the stuff between Barbara and Gordon this episode. There might be some interesting subtext there when we get to what her role in things are. So I'm saying I think her role is so important to have this episode is in the third act. I think it kind of evens itself out, but. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just view it as like, so she's just messing around. She's bonding a little bit with Tabitha, and just like slapping the mayor around.
It's just dumb for me. I don't know. I mean, I know the season's over the top, but for some reason that just kind of crossed a line. I can't say why. I do like the bit where Gallivan is like, "You didn't kill him, did you?"
That's what I'm saying. I mean, a bit like that makes me kind of forgive it. Like, okay, it's kind of funny. It's like,
and then Tabitha whips in, and he's like, "Oh." Nope, he's still hanging in there.
No, yeah, he's still alive.
And then Barbara's time is coming very soon, but first he wants her to tell them about James Gordon.
When I heard that line, I was like, "Oh man, something bad's coming." Just the minute he said,
"Oh boy,
I want you." It's just kind of a cool, ominous line. What can you tell me about James Gordon?
Right.
What do you want to know?
Oh god. Oh fuck you, Barbara.
But basically, a little more focused on Tabitha in that scene than I am Barbara. And Barbara's role later on is what kind of just makes me, I gotta forgive that because she does get our plot moving towards the end there.
Fair enough. So we have Bruce and Alfred in the Batcave,
and we see a little more of it this time around. So it's not just a desk. We see Thomas Wayne is really preparing for what seems to be kind of a Batman-like war on crime, which is interesting.
Yeah, which is really interesting. It's kind of a new element to Thomas Wayne that I don't think's been explored much.
And it's kind of interesting because in the comics, what they had with Thomas Wayne is the idea that it was like you ever heard the terms post-crisis or pre-crisis?
I've heard of it, yes.
Basically, what that means is like before the events that they basically reboot things, not like the New 52 precisely, but basically they just kind of like they have year one is that's post-crisis.
Okay, gotcha.
Basically, when they kind of redefine things, like made things a little more, improved things, like basically got rid of all the kind of the sillier stuff from the Golden Age days.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in the Golden Age days, one of the elements of basically they had like every reason left and right of why Bruce Wayne became Batman. Thomas Wayne, and this is in Batman: Brave and the Bold, and it's really well done there with Adam West as Thomas Wayne. It's the idea that the Batman costume may have been partly inspired by Thomas Wayne going to a costume party in a Batman costume.
Okay.
And that's the idea. Basically, it's an old version of the bat suit that was.
What would he be doing with the Batman costume in the first place?
Yeah, like the original thing is he's wearing it for a costume party. That was it, pure and simple. Bruce just looked to that when he's looking for like how to.
But I mean, is it just an original costume that Thomas Wayne just made up?
Yeah, he just made it up, and it's kind of, I guess, a little based on Zorro, but it was a bat theme.
Okay, I gotcha.
And of course, in other stories like Flashpoint, Thomas Wayne is the Batman of that universe. The idea of Thomas Wayne being Batman is kind of things he's kind of toyed around with because of that old Thomas Wayne going to a costume party idea.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of interesting to see it come back in a little more serious way here, of like Thomas Wayne kind of being a Batman, a pre-Batman. So
and a stoic. Don't forget about a stoic.
Oh, absolutely, he's a stoic big time. And with that, though, again, I noticed a lot here is like, and Alpha brings up in dialogue here. We got blood bags, we got weapons, we got a bulletproof vest. We got an older version of the Bat computer. Yeah,
Alfred's not too happy about this.
He's not. He's a little horrified looking into this stuff. Just seeing again, the minute he sees those bags of blood and he sees like the vest with 2 slugs in it, he's not pleased. He's realizing, oh man, this kid's getting sensory overload of all the what ifs.
Mm-hmm.
And I can hardly deal with him now that he has this. He's set on a mission that I can't. My job will not allow me to stop him from. So Alfred, the minute Bruce gets the computer working, he says, "It's working, hooray!" And then Alfred just destroys the heck out of this computer. Like wham, wham.
Oh yeah.
And I was like a little shocked by egad, Alfred really at the end of his rope.
You know what this reminds me of?
What does it remind?
This reminds me of the scene from Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is
right.
Yeah, it's kind of like the car destruction scene.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Anyway, so Bruce, as you can imagine, is really as anyone would be, but you just destroyed the only chance I had of finding out.
Yeah, Bruce is not happy at all.
What's connected to my parents' death? What's going on in their company? My legacy? You're ruining my chances of figuring things out.
Now, one thing I will say about Alfred this episode, I totally do think he's in the right about everything, and I totally sympathize with him. But there's 1 or 2 lines here that I feel are a bit patronizing towards Bruce.
Yeah, the child thing, which I was still off.
The whole smoking guns, oh, guns are for grown-ups, Master Bruce.
Just a metaphor,
shut up, Alfred. Shut up.
No, what I love that Bruce's response to that, though, and again, it shows you a classic Bruce Wayne sassing Alfred. It's just like saying, the smoking gun's a metaphor, Alfred, not
right. That argument holds no water, Alfred. You know it.
So that's just instantly, again, the idea is just Alfred, he's just at wit's end. He doesn't know what to say to this kid. He's just trying anything. He's just trying. He can only hold on to that kid argument because he's got nothing else.
I guess so. There's another line he has about kids later on that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but we'll get to it. Anyways,
so basically, it had to be done, Master Bruce, and just Bruce is beyond upset. I mean, again, if you're Bruce Wayne, you finally kind of found your calling in life, a true calling.
A true calling, yes. Yeah.
And you have the tools at your disposal, and you're all happy-go-lucky. Finally, I can after this year. This year has felt like 10 years of just waiting, wallowing in confusion of what to do, how to proceed. I'm in a world where everything I knew was a lie. And how is it this lie ends up getting my parents killed? And I finally have some answers. Now they're just taken away from me when they're literally at my fingertips.
And they're taken away from me by the person that I trust the most.
Absolutely. And Bruce is upset, and Alfred is going through the reasons again. The bulletproof vest with 2 slugs in it. This is I'm just trying to protect you. And Bruce is absolutely destroyed, and he fires Alfred.
Oh yeah.
Alfred, you're fired.
I knew this was going to be remedied throughout the episode, but still, it was kind of hard to watch.
Alfred's usually in the quitting position in the Batman comics. He's quit a time or 2.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the famous example in The Dark Knight Rises.
That's it's actually based on a Bane-related comic in the origin.
I failed you. You trusted me, and I failed you.
It was actually Bruce Wayne became a drug addict, and Alfred had to leave him to get him to stop using the drugs.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Well, no, seriously, that was the introduction of, essentially that led to the introduction of Bane. It was the whole, he was hooked on Venom, the super strength drug.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And
Okay.
Bruce Wayne was getting a little too power crazy, fighting criminals, like beating them near death. And Alfred said, "No, I'm done."
I'm interested to see if Venom comes into the play this season, but
Well, remember, it was set up in the first season, so
that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
I think as we get into this Wayne conspiracy, I think it's going to come back.
Okay. Well, anyways, what's going on?
So basically, he fires Alfred, and emotionally, like, oh, poor Alfred. And you support Alfred here in his decision, but of course, there's nothing to stop this kid from going out on this mission.
Of course, he's the goddamn Batman.
And the big direction they're going in this season that seems interesting, that do well set up this episode, is that Bruce Wayne, if you're in Bruce's way, he's getting rid of you.
Right, exactly.
He's dedicating himself to this mission, whether you're going to help him or not. So basically, Alfred's in the way. Alfred, you got to go.
As he says later, you're either with me or you're against me.
And again, it makes sense in the character thing that's been built in the first episode. Alfred doesn't really know how to handle this, and he doesn't want him to go in this direction. So, of course, he's going to try to stop him in some way. And, of course, Bruce have to get rid of him. And it's Alfred being very professional. Well, very well, Master Wayne. Yeah, Alfred, he's a butler. He's a professional butler. You can't contradict him. He just says, well, very well then.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. All right.
So then we got Jerome and this scene is fantastic.
It really is. This is kind of like, I feel like this was the scene that really drew me into Jerome. I'm like, all right, I'm totally sold on this guy now.
Basically, Jerome's going through like a weapons chest, as they all are, just kind of messing around, just looking for stuff that appeals to them. Jerome grabs like a katana, in the sheath and everything. He's like, ooh. And the Greenwood unsheaths it, and he has the katana in his hand. Jerome's like, give it back. Says, I saw it first. No, you didn't. And basically have this hilarious. Again, there's all nuts, just like the samurai banter going on between each other. It's like John. It's like it's Belushi type stuff. The whole
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much saying oh, samurai-san, your blade and everything. Essentially, this to me, and show you this guy, whether he is. Again, he's tied into the Joker somehow. I'm not going to get into it until we get to Spec, really. But whether he is or is not Joker, he has a lot of Joker tendencies. Just seeing him go for the chainsaw in response to the katana.
Oh, yeah.
One guy has a katana, and Joker's going to fight him for it. And what's he going to use? He grabs the chainsaw to do so. And that's a classic Joker move. Just going for the chainsaw. And then chainsaw versus katana seems like an awesome idea. And they're both gung-ho about it. Yeah!
You're just a nutty old cannibal. How many people can you eat before it gets old? Oh, I could eat one more.
Now, basically, Galvan at this point, he mediates. He tries to, at least.
He tries to come up with a peaceful solution.
Basically, the leader challenge comes up here, as the little line you just said that comes up, pretty much saying, "Well, I'm the leader. So I have more experience." And he says, "No, you." What'd you do? Chop up your mommy? He says, everyone has to start somewhere. Just hearing that from someone who's going to be definitely entwined in the Joker, just hear him say, hey, everyone has to start somewhere. It's this idea of, okay, Bruce Wayne is now looking for a direction. You have the other side of that being, I'm going to make my mark on this. Someone who's directly trying, he's thinking citywide, I'm going to make a mark on this city, less than I'm going to get my own house in order first. It's just
and he doesn't even have a direction with it. He's just pure chaos with it.
Yeah, it's just this idea of someone who just wants, he's like jumping steps beyond, just jumping headfirst into affecting this city through no plan whatsoever. I'm just going to do as much damage as I can, make a name for myself. And I got to start somewhere. I'm going to make a splash in things. I'm not going to make a calculated journey. I'm just going to splash into things, and it's just as much pain as I can cause. I'm going to be laughing all the way. Ha, ha, ha. So this leader challenge comes up, and then as Galvan mediates here, he pulls out. Okay, well, are you familiar with this game? Pulls out a gun, a Russian roulette. And
I love it.
Jerome is very familiar with this game, which is just scary and hilarious. So this is ladies first, gives it the Greenwood, pull trigger. Jerome takes comedy is all about timing, and about other things. Nothing. Then he does again. You'll notice Galvan in the background after the second try. He gets more and more excited. This is creepy. Just giving Galvan more personality. The idea he's so excited by this.
He's really drawn in by Jerome. He just sees the potential in this kid.
And again, I love this idea of Galvan just being responsible ultimately for the Joker in Gotham. And just being responsible for he's trying this kid to go for his best, go for his nutties, and he's not saying, hey, pull back a little. He says, no, embrace it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, he's genuinely thrilled by this as he gets like the third click and nothing happens. Says, and who's the leader? Me. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. And then Jerome takes the katana. Has this glee. This is such a Joker delivery though. He's just like, yee! She's like,
Arigato, sensei.
I just love the way he takes the katana, makes a little sound effect. It's so great. Again, Cameron Monaghan, he's playing this part so fantastically well.
He is.
I knew it from the moment he had that breakdown. The minute he had like the Joker breakdown in the first season, I knew he was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have Gordon Bullock at the bar, and we got our fan wish fulfilled here.
Yes, we did. We did. It's Scotty.
Yeah, Scotty. Scotty's back, the redhead from the first season and from the Scarecrow episode that Bullock was in the meeting with.
Not quite as pleasant as her first appearance here, but understandably so, because I don't think
protective.
Exactly.
And again, they had that. It makes all the sense in the world because they have that great bonding moment of
I was so happy to see her. Out of anyone on the show, it totally makes sense for Bullock to hook up with her, even though she was a minor character in the first season. She definitely left an impression.
Well, remember two things. One, it's the reason she's so overprotective of him is because of that great moment where the Bullock sharing his fear of like dying alone in the city.
Of course, I love that moment.
Which is all the reason they kind of got together, and all the reason why she's definitely protective of Bullock because she knows his deep dark fear there. And secondly, the other thing, it's that. Oh, never mind then. Sorry, I was going to say something about Scotty there. Okay, anyway. I'm sorry. I remember it was a Bullock saved her life. Of course, she should give him like a date after that. I mean,
of course.
Anyway, so basically, Scotty comes in there and says, "Oh, you remember Scotty, my girlfriend, fiance? Of course."
Oh, Bullock.
Basically, the instant, basically Sky says, basically just giving Gordon no time of day at all, saying, "What are you doing here?"
No.
They're saying, "Well, he's just come by and say hello." Screw that. No, he's not. You're going to ask him back,
right.
aren't you? You're going to ask him back on the force, aren't you? He says, no, he wouldn't do that. And then, Gordon, being the honest guy that he is, says, "Well, yeah, we're really short-staffed, and this is a big case book. We really use you." And says, "The answer's no. Scotty, I'll tell him myself. I'm going to tell him the same thing. No. I'm happy. I'm happy here. I have a life here." Says, "I know I'm happy for you, Bullock."
Mm-hmm.
Which is nice. Again, Gordon's still happy for him, but they are short-staffed, and this is a big thing. Plus, it's Barbara, so it's kind of a personal thing. And in the beginning of the scene, it was like the two of them sharing the fact of, "Man, you really have no luck, do you, Gordon?"
4 lunatics and Barbara. Seriously, Jim?
Yeah, and Barbara. That's also a lunatic.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, so then basically as Gordon's about to leave, respectfully so, and I'm hoping Scotty warms up to Gordon down the line a little more.
I'm hoping so, yeah.
Well, good news is I hope she's not going to die because, Bullock seems to be, looks like he's going to be heading back to the Force going forward without a death.
Yeah.
So anyway, so as Gordon's leaving, I hope he still keeps the bar, though. I really hope that he's able to keep the bar.
That'd be awesome.
Basically, as Gordon leaves, the Bullock gives him a little, "Hey, listen, Jim, take a little advice from your Uncle Harvey." Your old Uncle Harvey.
Why the shipyard? They could have targeted anywhere, but why the shipyard? Oh yes.
Oh yeah. So anyway, we have Gordon talking to Essen, one of these classic scenes. Basically just kind of giving Essen the play-by-play. But it seems a little more plot related than per usual.
Mm-hmm.
They basically, well, give me some good news here. It says, no Bullock. That's not good news. No, but he gave us a lead. So basically, the yard was the yard was chosen. So the Yelling's yard was chosen so they could you get a refueling truck. We finally got a lead on that. So, a lot of trucks were in the area, so they finally pinpointed which truck it was. It was like a loaded truck in a fleet. There was one missing, fully loaded with gasoline. So exactly. I put an APB out on it, and just Essen saying, "So glad you're back, Jim," because he's on it. He says, "I already put an APB out for it and everything." Gordon's the perfect cop here. So, Essen's still in disbelief. I can't believe no Bullock, though. I can't believe he's not coming back.
And then Gordon, he didn't have it in him to push him, because who would in that
Absolutely. Ever think of so let me ask you ever think of everything walking away? And this is a great moment between Essen has a great moment here. She really does.
Oh, I did for a long time, but now, I just, after all the crime and corruption, I refuse to sit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, basically,
And I'm going to tell you this heartfelt fact shortly before.
Well, importantly though, she says this because she doesn't want to waste. She says, "I'm not going to waste this job. Not those corrupt, lazy guys."
Hey, I'm back. Oh, you're too kind. You're too kind. All right. Anyway, so BlueDragonFive. We next see Bruce, and he's waiting out in the study in Wayne Manor. We get a very heartfelt goodbye between him and Alfred.
Oh yeah, it's of course the Alfred firing scenes are always the saddest scenes in Batman. Your heart goes out to Alfred because he's in the right here trying to protect Bruce, but of course Bruce being on his mission, he's got to cut people out of his life. At least he's convinced of that at this point. So it's really Alfred just trying to save as much face and being the professional that he is. Just saying, it's been an honor to serve you and your family. And Bruce and it pains him to do this, but he's just convincing himself it's purely business, and he's saying, well, if you need any references, just ask, and I'll give you some good references.
And then he asks if that's all Alfred's taking, just these little packs that Alfred has. And this broke my heart. Alfred was just like, well, that's all I have, sir. Well, and he's absolutely right. The Wayne family is all that Alfred has ever had throughout the comics. It's kind of the point of his character.
Oh, yeah. I gotta say,
the definition of like a surrogate family.
I gotta tell you, one of the best writers for Alfred, it's gotta be Scott Snyder. He knows how to write Alfred. He really does.
I think Scott Snyder is just one of the best Batman writers.
Oh, he is. But he's so good. Anyway, so speaking of which, there's a really great moment with Alfred here. So he's off to catch a train, and Bruce says goodbye, and Alfred he
does a double take.
He could just keep going, but he hears Bruce say goodbye. He says, "What was that, sir?" And Bruce says, "I said goodbye, Alfred." And the minute he says it's like Alfred just realizing, I was hoping he was going to say, "Don't go."
Right.
And there's just this moment of pause before Alfred leaves. Your heart goes out to him, oh, poor Alfred. It's kind of like that moment from The Dark Knight Rises of just Bruce going, "Goodbye, Alfred."
It is. It's very much like that.
It's like a less kind of hurt It's like Bruce Wayne being less hurt.
All right, so we see the Maniacs.
Maniacs.
They're in a fire truck. Jerome is using his hands like binoculars.
Not in the fire truck, the fueling truck, remember?
Well, excuse me, princess.
I'm saying Bullock helped us figure that out. I just want to point that out. So,
anyways.
Spy.
Yes.
With my little eye. Oh, something yellow. Looking around, then we see a yellow bus.
The most over-the-top, enthusiastic bunch of cheerleaders I've ever fucking seen.
Seriously, I would imagine every sports team in Gotham would just be absolutely defeated because usually something bad happens. Especially if it's something sports. Look at Dark Knight Rises, bunch of football.
Oh God.
The Gotham City Rogues, they're playing the stadium's collapsing around them. Gotham's not a sports town.
No, it's not. But seriously, though, these cheerleaders have some spirit in them.
Well, they're young, they're naive, they're gonna have their hearts broken soon enough. Or if Greenwood gets his hands on them, they're gonna be eaten soon enough. Because Greenwood's response I thought was hilarious. It's just the idea that Jerome finds a bus full of young female cheerleaders, and Greenwood, who again, serial killer, loves eating women, his response is, "Yay, Gotham!" Pretty funny. It's dark, but it's funny. It's
dark. It's definitely
the cannibal
dark.
Who eats women is I approve of this choice. Yay, Gotham! Just ask and you shall receive in Gotham if you're a criminal or a psychopath. It always works for you. Everything comes up 7 in Gotham.
All right, so we have Nigma and Kringle.
Oh, yes.
Nigma just very awkwardly, he's like, "How was your day?" He was fine. Oh, did you know that houseflies? What exactly do houseflies do? That you were so impressed with?
Basically, houseflies hum in the key of F.
Oh, yeah, right. Like the most useless piece of knowledge ever.
Now, what I love about this, I love how the actor plays Edward Nigma portrays this line, because it's so great, because I've seen him do this before constantly in season 1. Now season 2 comes around, he's a little more thoughtful about it because he's battling himself at the same time, and it's like him realizing, even for me, that was the lamest riddle I could. That was the lamest factoid I could come up with. But also, just what cracks me up is the follow up to that. After he says it, it's just this moment of, okay, then, just like to anything else? No, it's it. Just like he's just so defeated. Your heart goes out to Enigma because he wants to ask out Miss Creel, and you kind of want these two to end up together in a way, in a sick, twisted way. You want these two to end up together.
Yeah, I guess in a sick way. Yeah,
I know, in a sick way. He's killed for this girl. She still hasn't. Again, Enigma in comparison, before he killed the guy, he was a better choice than some of the jocks. He has a tendency for really bad people.
No, you're right. You're right.
I mean, even still, he killed for her, and she still won't give him the time of day. But it's not so much of that. It's just the idea. He's generally trying, but again, Enigma through his own thing, especially what he's going through now, he just can't. He doesn't have the confidence yet, because his confidence is being channeled very negatively. So she leaves and says, okay, then, bye.
Speaking of the confidence being channeled negatively.
Has a little conversation.
Yes, he does.
So maybe she needs someone like me. As Edward Nygma's ego appears from the shadows.
I still want to think this is like the Riddler.
I'm still convinced that they're both together. They are the Riddler, because he needs the intelligence of the timid guy to be the Riddler.
That's true. That's true.
I think it's just he has kind of the theatricality, like Joker, like Joker or Jerome in this phase. And then it's like that's the ego, that's the confidence, that's the I hate everyone who underestimates me. That's the passion of Edward Nygma. Right. And the other side, you have the brilliance of Edward Nygma. He's just timid, and that's the anger stemming from that social awkwardness.
I can buy that.
That's what I'm saying. I think both of them together is a marriage that makes him Riddler, and this girl's in the way of that marriage in a way.
But either way, I like how they're doing the split personality.
Absolutely,
it really gives the actor some more range.
Oh yeah, it's great. I can't wait to see him kind of mix and match through personas.
Exactly.
Anyway, so this confidence comes by, and again, remember, Enigma in a way is really self-hating, believe it or not, because he really hates this kind of guy that the confidence is. Mary hates him. Maybe she needs a guy like chicks love, women love confidence.
And then he yells, "Go away!" and throws some papers as the security guard is watching this, and he's just like, "Hey, what's up?"
One of the best deliveries from the Riddler in this show. So we're saying, hey.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the scene in Birdman where Michael Keaton's flipping out like, "I'm not fucking Birdman!" And then, he's tearing his office up, and then Zach Galifianakis comes in, he's just like, "Hey!
Yeah.
What's up?"
I look like a turkey with leukemia.
Oh, God. Oh, great movie.
Anyway, so then next scene, it's the bus hijacking. So they pulled their little fuel tanker.
You're not Ricky, you're Birdman. I'm sorry.
Smells like balls in here.
Smells like balls.
Okay, back to, anyway, so fuel.
On that note.
Well, a smell is going to be in the air with this next bit. So
I guess.
Bus is being hijacked. The fuel tanker's pulls up in front of the bus. The maniacs get out of there, guns are blazing, and also giant tank of gasoline that they're disposing with a fire hose.
Just a giant over-the-top tank of Mad Max style gasoline truck. And
again, very cleverly, you'll notice in this scene and a scene later on, there you get some Dutch angle shots from the '60s Batman.
Right.
Really nice. I love that touch. So anyways, the Jerome's getting there, again, being the showman, being kind of the spokesman of the group. The police are on their way. We see as they're kind of making their statement here and saying, it was a difficult decision. It was between you and the senior citizen bus going to the bingo party. We decided to skew a little younger.
Youth won the day. Now give me an O.
Oh, and then, before they don't give him an O, they shoot him in the roof of the bus.
I said, give me an O.
Oh.
Give me an N.
Remember, I think it was actually a little clever. He says, "Give me another O." Oh, and with another, he gets. What's that spell? Oh no! And then
seriously, these guys went through all this trouble and they didn't manage to check if they had a working lighter or not. I mean,
Well,
come on, guys, come on. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. Seriously.
It's kind of funny. That's actually might be a reference to Batman Under the Red Hood, because there's this bit where he lights mobsters. He dumps gasoline on mobsters in a truck, and he has a lighter out.
Get it lit.
Well, at first he can't get it lit. Then eventually it does when it drops.
Okay.
So that's the trick. It actually works here too. When you drop the lighter, then it lights. It doesn't work when you're trying to flick it.
That's how it works in real life.
Whenever you drop it, it ignites. That's how it works in the movies.
One enemy to lighters is wind. Wind makes it impossible to light lighters. So maybe that's what was going on.
Maybe that's the case. Okay, anyway, of course, the gag being they have all the gasoline they would need for that all around them.
Of course.
Okay, anyway, so basically, they have like a fireman's hose.
Well, hold on. I love when Jerome just goes into the bus and he's like, "Anyone got a light?"
Well, before that, though, I just love he takes his like fireman's hose of gasoline, just like pouring it all around. It's such a terrifying image of cheerleaders having gasoline poured on them and knowing that, oh my god, they intend to. It's so out of left field. It's so wacky. So it feels so naturally Batman in Gotham. It's dark 60s, and it works so brilliantly. It's just like,
I think a lot of the show is dark 60s, and I think that's kind of a clever way to go with it.
It is, and it's so again also a bit of Batman Returns also.
Yeah. It's like 60s mixed with Batman Returns.
Really? Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's the formula.
You do got a lot of Tim Burton Art Deco in it. Anyway, with that though, it's such a dark idea. And it does fit with Gallivan's statement at the beginning of the episode. Remember, monsters are coming. The city will be cleansed in blood and fire. And of course, this is the fire.
Of course.
It's a brilliant idea. And
the fire rose.
Seriously, such a dark idea. Lighting a bus full of happy-go-lucky cheerleaders on fire as your grand entrance.
Cheerleaders.
Well, now they're not so happy-go-lucky. Anyways, has anyone got a light? Then Dawkins.
That was great. I didn't catch that until my second watch, and then I cracked up.
So again, whether this kid is him or not,
that kind of reminds me of Kermit the Frog being all like, "I'm gonna go and check and see if Jack Black has any ideas."
So again, whether this kid is going to be Joker or not, he is definitely the model you want for a Joker.
Yeah, at this point, I'd be disappointed if he wasn't the Joker, but
anyway, so then Dopkins has a lighter, thankfully, but again, it still doesn't work. They don't test these things in advance. But again,
I know, right, man? It's like, come on.
But to be fair, they're crazy, and they're focused on the showmanship over the lighter.
You know what I would do? I would just buy a pack of, like, those 6-pack of big lighters and just make damn sure.
I have a better idea. Matches?
That too. That's fail-proof, I guess.
Anyway, so... Well, ask Woody is actually full of fail.
Yeah, very true.
Okay, let's see. So then the cops show up, and Gordon and the gang show up. And this is actually really clever on Jerome's part, by the way. So cops pull up, they pull their guns out, and then Jerome points out the fact that legally they can't shoot us because there's a bus behind us. Again, really brilliantly well thought out plan. So their guns are blazing at the cops, and he says, "Hold your fire." And again, it's the first watch. You would think, Gordon, why aren't you just firing at these guys? And of course, Gordon abiding by the rules here. No, we can't fire him. We have to hold our fire. And
it's also understandable because if one of those bullets hits the oil, it could liable to set off the oil.
Absolutely, even more so.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so then finally, Gordon he does manage to disarm. He takes a chance. After his officers are dead, he takes a chance. He fires at or he disarms Dopkins' arm, and then unfortunately drops the lighter. Thankfully, there's tons of gasoline around the bus so it doesn't go directly into the bus at first.
Yeah, that was one of their flaws, was that they put just a little too much gasoline.
Yeah. And again, there's this great bit where Jerome's like on the side of the oil truck, and he's just like banging the fire hose while it's going off against the thing. It's like, whoa! Anyway, so then this great. I love when heroes save people, and of course it's a marriage of two things with heroic action mixed with Jim Gordon. So I'm happy with that. Gordon gets on the bus and he drives the bus out of danger into safety, and he says,
"Just in time."
Yep. Is everyone okay? Great bit. Great. I just love the civil action. He drives the bus away from the giant explosion. That's a cool bit. It reminds me of a bit from Year One, Tiki. I hope you've seen it.
I have seen it. I have.
All of it?
Yes.
Hooray! So, yeah, Gotham. It reminds me of the bit where he saves the children from the Arkham escape. Remember?
Oh yeah, sure.
Remember, and then offers them gum. I wonder if he offered these cheerleaders gum. Anyway, so a really nice bit. One of my favorite parts of the episode. Really nice. So then we got. Then we had Jim talking to Dobkins here, and then Dobkins he realizes he's beat, and he says, "Listen, I was coerced, officer."
And then dead.
Basically, before he can get the information that he wants a deal, before that happens, shot right point blank in the head from a sniper. And this is really cool. Again, the way they portrayed kind of the sniper, the realism of a sniper is really cool. Just Gordon instantly ducking behind the cars, and he's like, you don't know where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying it's a little subtle, but you always got to acknowledge there. You don't want to just lay a guy up on a rooftop you can clearly see. It's like you can't see him. It's like danger everywhere.
Yeah.
Then it's revealed to be Tabitha. Tabitha really keeping a close eye on these guys. So, and you talk, you're dead.
Not good. All right. So we have Alfred and Bruce at the train station. This is kind of the line where I really thought Alfred was being a little bit condescending here. Bruce, he understands Alfred's situation, but then he says there's nothing that Alfred can do about fulfilling his father's plan, either with him or against him. And then, Alfred, he has a really sweet line before this. He's like, well, Master Bruce, I'm with you. I've always been with you. That's a good line, because, of course, we know Alfred's always with him.
And I like Alfred realizing, look, I know that now. I know there's nothing I can do to stop me and destroy
But then the line that made me cringe was Alfred's just like, but this is big boy stuff, Master Bruce.
Yeah.
I'm like, really?
I'm attributing that to Alfred having a learning curve once he gets on board with this thing.
I guess so, but that was just the most, I remember if I was 14 years old, and somebody told me that I was dealing with big boy stuff, I'd be incredibly insulted.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I still say, I'm saying they've treated us well so far, these 2 episodes. I'm going to give them a learning curve on that one.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, it just kind of bothered me in terms of, that would piss me off if someone talked to me like that. I think I'm
going to have a problem with it if they do it any time after this episode. If they go back to the whole he calling him a kid, if they go back to that, I might have an issue.
I don't mind the whole thing, when he calls him Master B and stuff that. I find that kind of charming.
Yeah. No, but I mean, when he's just saying you're a child, he really.
Yeah, when he's downplaying Bruce, it's like he should know at this point that Bruce isn't an average kid, for starters. He should know that Bruce is probably a little more emotionally mature than the average kid, given the circumstances. Yeah. So I don't know. It just kind of bugged me.
I'm just gonna hope going forward,
the episode or anything, but
as long as going forward they stop that sort of stuff, I'm gonna be fine with it.
Right.
We'll see. Anyway, so it says Alfred he seems to be learning his lessons. You're too young for this. And they, Bruce mentions, well, then teach me. Train me. He says, well, we tried that before. It didn't really go before. That was before. Now I know what the mission is. Now I have more facts and I know what direction you're going. Look, I'll do whatever you want. If you're going to do this, you got to follow my orders. Oh, I'll even go to school. All right, I agree. But if I agree, you must do what I say.
No exceptions.
No exceptions. They shake on it, but of course Bruce agrees. I mean, this is really great kind of bit of Alfred Bruce snarkiness I loved. Just Bruce. Okay, but on the condition that you must fix the computer. But I can't fix that computer. It's not my problem. I'm not the one who broke it. That's great. Okay, so it would seem at the GCPD, this is kind of a subtle thing. We can assume that, again, Leslie Tompkins was fired. Loeb fired Leslie Tompkins to make life harder on Gordon. So it would seem, again, Essen being the nice commissioner that she is, having Gordon back, she squeezed the deal. I got to bring Leslie Tompkins back. I mean, she was misfired along with you, so
they're kind of cleaning up the scum of the last commissioner in a way, I guess.
Exactly, it makes sense if she's there, and I can assume that's the reason why. Because it's Essen's doing, which we love Essen. Well, we loved Essen.
We love Essens. Yeah, we've grown to love Essens over the years.
Yes, and you've seen the best Essen in animated form.
I have.
Okay, anyways, the Katie Sackhoff Essen.
This one really grew on me, though.
Oh yeah, she did. So let's see. So Leslie Tompkins basically pulled the bullets from Dobkins' body. So basically, maybe they can get trace on, see if they may match it to the gun, perhaps, or get a clue on who it's connecting to. And a little sweet bit. I think Gordon saying "love you." Likewise. That's kind of cute. Like Gordon, you remember Gordon stayed in the first season. He doesn't really want to show his feelings, but now Loeb's gone. Now the corrupt cops are for the most part gone. It's.
I also took that as maybe like a subtle thing of like they're all so wrapped up in the work that they don't really have time to say that as much as they would like to. So they're just kind of getting it in when they can.
Yeah. That's nice.
Right.
It's like that was the thing. It was a real sticking point with her first season. You got to show me some affection at the workplace, even.
You're right. It was a sticking point with her. Okay.
That's nice. Yeah, good Leslie Tompkins here. Good Leslie. Okay, so then we have where
Alfred and Lucius.
Oh yes, the Alfred Lucius Fox. These are good scenes. They're at a bar. Really nice scene. He's really nice. This is a nice, quiet scene. So they're just having a little conversation here. It's like it seems like pure coincidence they've bumped into each other. It says, "Do I know you?" It says, "Oh yeah, shoot that Lucius Fox chap."
That scientific fellow up at Wayne Enterprises.
Fox, right? And basically, the little introductions there, and says, it's strange by sheer coincidence.
It's funny that we run into each other here because I was just thinking about you. And then Fox, it's kind of like silent for a while, and then Lucius is like, "All right, I'll bite. What were you thinking about?"
Basically, Alfred goes into the Onslow story about, I have a favor to ask you.
Oh, Alfred and his war stories, man.
Oh, yeah. The size of a tangerine.
This isn't quite as good as the Burma story, but it's up there.
Yeah, I'm impressed they didn't just use Reggie as the example. They went to Alfred has a lot of adventures.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. Yeah.
Basically, it says, it goes in about Onslow and mentioned, I asked a friend of Onslow about a favor, and basically he said if
iffy favor.
Yeah, an iffy favor, and I did, and basically I didn't get a return on it. Essentially, and so I warned him if he didn't come through for me, I'd tuck you like a kipper.
Oh God. What is it?
And he let me down.
Well, it's a type of smoked fish. It's great with eggs and toast for breakfast.
Yep. So basically, he lays out the whole, the importance of trust.
Oh, kippers! I'm sorry. I apologize.
So he lays out the importance of trust. So I'm wondering, Mr. Fox, with this favor, can I trust you or can't I trust you? And it says, you're either a person I can trust or a person I can't trust. Both. Which one are you? Well, both kinds. We give you the same answer. Exactly.
That was like totally the answer that Alfred was looking for right there, don't you think?
Yeah.
That was well chosen words right there by Mr. Fox.
Exactly. He's a brilliant guy, that Lucius Fox. So let me say this. We only had one scene from last season, but this scene just kind of confirms it. I really like this actor.
I'm much more sold on Lucius Fox than I am some of these characters that were waiting to come back in the limelight, like Harvey Dent and people like that.
Well, he hasn't come back yet, so I can't judge it. But
yeah, I know, but still, I'm rough on Harvey Dent. I think they dropped the ball on Harvey Dent the last season. He had one cool scene, and then the rest of it, he was just kind of useless filler.
Well, they have some openings for characters, so I think Harvey might have some room to grow now.
All right, we'll see.
Okay, let's see. So basically, Fox is saying, I'm not sure I like the sound of these kippers.
Oh, I'll take your kippers.
Anyway, so then I know. The minute he said kippers, I knew, Tiki's going to get Nigel Thorne. Anyways, you see, Mr. Fox, Lucius. I love it. Oh, this is the same thing. It's a British thing, by the way. Just instead of saying Lucius, they say Lucius. Michael Caine did this, and so does.
Right.
That's the English thing. Anyway, says, this is kind of your fault for pointing out that Master Bruce's dad was a Stoic.
Indeed.
And basically, I need to confide in you, but if I can't trust you, if there's any inkling that I can't trust you, my old sausage.
You are a dead man.
All this breakfast talk. You're an old sausage.
Right.
I'm getting a sense Alfred didn't have donuts today with the Galvan breakfast package. I'm getting the sense that Alfred.
I don't see why Alfred would be in that company.
Yeah, well, I'm still saying though, it's like he didn't get to go to the craft service table of Gotham, and he apparently, he was fired this morning, so I guess he didn't get to have any.
That's true. That's true.
So I guess Bruce didn't give him a farewell breakfast, and then Alfred would have to cook his own farewell breakfast, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
Anyway, so my old sausage, if I can't trust you, then you're a dead man. And Lucius Fox, I love this line from Lucius Fox. I think it works so well. This is the perfect line to end the scene on. Again, such a well crafted scene. This is the perfect ending. The perfect response is, Mr. Pennyworth. Well, not Alfred. I have only the best of intentions for Bruce Wayne.
And we know he does.
Oh, when he says that, I thought it was so. My spine tingled a little bit. Oh, it's Lucius Fox.
He's going to turn into like one of the biggest resources for Batman.
That's the best cool. That's the best prequel line. That's the best prequel line and delivery you can have in a prequel series about Batman. You know that I have only the best of intentions for Bruce Wayne.
So Alfred orders another round of drinks, and he's like, "How are you at fixing computers, Mr. Fox?"
Very nice. So then we're at the GCP, and
oh god. Okay, hold on. This was my funniest moment of the fucking episode, because Gordon gets the call from Barbara, and then I just cracked out at just how over the top and dramatic the music got. Did you catch that?
Yeah, remember, it cut the commercial when that happens.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like he gets the call from Barbara, and then the music is just like, dude.
Hey, don't we have some sound effects too?
I think we do. When a little something like this.
Barbara calls. Exactly.
Anyway, seriously, that cracked me up. That was a well-placed, ominous sound effect there.
It was. Of course, given all the history we have there from season 1, of course, that's the reaction we're going to have when she enters the scene.
Like, oh god, it's Barbara.
It's good dicey, guys.
Okay.
So anyway, so Barbara calls, and basically it's Gordon's thing. Here's the way crazy people. You just try to placate him. You don't try to arouse any suspicion. Talk him normal. So basically, he's talking to her, and basically she's on to what she knows. He's just down stuff, and I don't think it's cared all to get. Just him just trying to play. He's saying, "Oh, Mr. Cool Guy." She's saying that to him. Playing Mr. Cool Guy. Hey, Barbara, how's it going? And he's big. Yes. And Barbara taking away her. It's going to be back. So Gordon's playing it cool, just so she doesn't kind of get grasp what she wants and what her game is here to break it apart and control. She's, she's tailing where his place of residence is, she gets a place on that pleasant time. It's a dangerous thing when she calls. So,
yeah, your audio is like.
Right, help you. How? Like, putting you back in Arkham? Barbara, you're sick. Yeah, then Barbara, she has some moments here. Oh, yeah. A line here to be out of season 1, Barbara. No, all I really dislike. Oh.
Wait, what? Now he's gone? Seriously? Well, that's just great. I was having issues with audio on my end, and now he dropped out. So, okay, well, he'll probably be back, but let's see. So, yeah, like he said, Barbara's on the phone. Gordon's saying that she's sick. She needs help. She's saying she's not going back to Arkham. Everything's always her fault. She's... and this line from Jim, I'm sorry, but it kind of cracked me up a little bit. She's just like, "Oh, you're a good, kind woman, Barbara." I'm like, Jim, no, she's not. Come on, don't. I don't know. To me, honestly, this whole storyline and this whole like Barbara luring Jim out, it didn't work for me because it just felt like they were reverting to season 1 again. But let me try and get BlueDragonFive back on here. We've been having some technical difficulties as always. So, okay, let's see if I'll get him back. Hopefully I'm even online and everything. But let's see. So, yeah, so basically Barbara's on the phone and she laughs, and that laugh can be heard in the room, and so Jim discovers that Barbara is actually in the GCPD on a payphone. And so he chases her outside, which is dumb and stupid. And he shouldn't have done that. And it was an obvious trap. And he should have listened to Admiral Akbar, because it was a trap. And it did not pay out well for him at all. So, anyways, let's see. Next up, we see Jerome enter in a fake cop uniform along with a bunch of the other maniacs. Jerome looking suave as ever as the Joker. Let's see. He... Basically, he sneaks right into the commissioner's office, right into Essence's office. There's a giant firefight going on at the GCPD. Nigma kind of goes in the way, rescues Kringle as she's about to get shot. And then, like I said, Jim is stupidly still going after Barbara. I mean, I don't know. The thing that pisses me off more about this isn't that he's going after Barbara for his own protection and to protect Tompkins and everything like that. The thing that pisses me off about this situation in particular is really the fact that Jim is specifically saying, like, oh, Barbara, you can change. This isn't like you, Barbara. It's like, this show should know by now that Jim and Barbara are never going to happen, and Jim should not have any sort of sympathy for Barbara at this point. So, I don't know. Let's see. Unfortunately, I have no idea what happened to BlueDragonFive. He kind of dropped off as soon as I got back on. So I'm just going to go through the rest of the episode as quickly as I can. But yeah, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It was a frustrating moment in the episode. You know, she tried telling him, she tried telling him all this, but he never listened. And then, oh God, this line pissed me off. You know, Jim's like, well, I'm listening now. It's like, shut up. Just shut up. I don't know. It's not very convincing, and the whole thing just feels a little bit forced. It just feels a little bit forced. I mean, I get that Barbara and Jim have history together, but if just knowing what we know about Gordon, I would think that he'd call for, I don't know, maybe call for backup to follow Barbara. I wouldn't just let Barbara go, but I'd handle the situation a little bit differently. All right, BlueDragonFive, come back! Come back! Oh, we have to get through this with or without him. So, let's see. We have, so Aaron attacks Jim, and there's a funny little moment where Jim, I think he hits Aaron over the head with a crowbar or something like that, some sort of metal object, and Aaron's just like, oh! But then he quickly overpowers Jim. Barbara, this moment's a little interesting. Barbara's kind of leaning over Jim. At first, I'm getting the feeling like she's enjoying seeing Jim get beat senseless by an amygdala. But then she tells him to stop. And then, oh dear God, she goes into crazy mode. Because she basically, like, leans over him. She kind of just wraps her legs around his body. You know, gets in real close. And she's just like, I'm not sick. I'm free. You should go back to work. Who knows what went wrong while you were gone? And then she gives him a big kiss and a freaking batshit crazy evil smile and bursts out of there. And yeah, Jim, seriously, like, why do you leave, dude? Why do you leave in the first place? All right, let's see. Let me see if I can get Blue Dragon on again. I'll send him the link as well. So hold on. I apologize for the technical difficulties, folks. BlueDragonFive obviously is much more knowledgeable about Batman than I am, so I'm just kind of trying to give my commentary as I see fit. But obviously, it helps to have another person on. So we'll see what we can do when it comes to that. Let's see. Do previously read. I'll send him the link. Because, yeah, this is weird. This should not be happening like this. I mean, I hope that I'm being recorded right now. I mean, it says I'm being recorded. It says I'm live on air, but who knows? Who knows? All I know is that I'm glad I'm getting a new laptop soon. So this kind of shit will not be happening anymore, hopefully. Okay, so anyways, let's see. We have Greenwood, and he's laughing. he passes by the guy that got shot earlier, Tom Dawkins, I think his name is, and Greenwood just gets a little laugh, which I think is twisted. Let's see. Lee's hiding under the table, and essentially at the GCPD, it's a massacre. Like, in terms of Game of Thrones, I mean, I haven't watched Game of Thrones, but I know what the fucking Red Wedding is. And this episode, I mean, if there were more main characters killed off here, instead of just the one particular character that does bite the dust, then I'd say this episode was kind of close to being Red Wedding status. Because it was quite shocking, We're not getting anywhere with BlueDragonFive coming back on. I thought I saw something. I guess not. I don't know what the problem is with that. Maybe I'll get a message from him soon, but I'm getting close to the point of wrapping up the episode. Which is unfortunate, because I feel like he needs to at least come on to eulogize the passing of our character that we lose this episode. So anyways, oh, I love this scene. So Essence is being strapped down by Jerome, and Aaron's Jerome saying, like, we'll settle for dead cops and good PR. And oh, Essence, oh my god, this scene just gave me mad respect for Essence. I really do like the evolution of Essence throughout the series. Hey, there he is.
Yes.
What happened?
I thought we were off the air.
No, I've been taking charge for a change.
I was for a while, then I was booted off the thing.
Well, I don't know how you got booted off. That was weird, because you got kicked off right when I came back on. So
anyway, where are we?
We are at Jerome and Essence, and Essence is about to give Jerome a piece of his mind.
Oh, they're that far into it? Oh,
yeah.
Darn it. Did we go over Gordon in the alley?
Really quick.
All right, I just well,
I thought I was having some complaints about it. I thought it was pretty stupid of Gordon to fall for that trap. I especially didn't like the line where Gordon was like, "I'm listening now, Barbara."
Well, remember, he's just trying to talk her down. He's not.
I understand that, but still, it gives me post-traumatic stress of when he was actually like, just don't listen to this woman in any capacity, Jim. Just don't do it.
Part of me really wishes he shot her in the alley. Still, part of me really still wishes he shot her. But seriously, though, the amygdala fight.
Or Tompkins killed her at the end of the first season. That would have been good too.
Also would have been fantastic. But seriously, though, it is a good scene. Like, just her. I love the setting of this scene. Like, it's in this alleyway again, really giving you the reality of the city. Like, right next, like, around the corner of the police station in this alley. Mm-hmm. Such a narrow space, so dangerous. Then amygdala just drops down from the rooftop, and then he fights Gordon. You feel so bad for Gordon. He gets pummeled so brutally. Right. Still got a bit of comedy, like hits him with the metal pole, like, ow. You know, it's still just, it's like, yeah. And then Barbara doing kind of maybe again something might seem like she's going for a Mason Murder type thing, really creepy. She mounts Gordon and then kisses him. It's so psychotic. Yeah. But again, you know, I wrote in my notes when I was saying in the episode was going on, again, in a dark 60s twinge of it, you know, because at this point I'm just like hating Barbara because I'm supposed to be hating Barbara intentionally, but you know what I was saying, because they're doing a good job at it because I'm hating Barbara in this scene. Barbara, you evil, twisted fiend. That's what I wrote in my notes, because in this scene, again, I hate her, but it's absolutely because we're supposed to, because it is kind of a well thought out plan. She lured Gordon away. Exactly. Because again, Gordon, being a guy who's trying to separate work from personal stuff, he's trying to get Barbara in, trying to get her voluntarily without a fight, because he does feel responsible for her, whether he likes her or not, which obviously he doesn't. Mm-hmm. But still, he feels responsible for her, and that's why he went in the alley alone. And of course, in this time, then you know the siege on the GCPD starts and chaos rains down.
And it's basically a massacre.
You mentioned that Enigma saved Kringle, right?
Yes.
Really good bit. Really great bit. But seriously, of course, the Jerome dressed as a cop, that's harking back to the old Batman comics.
Of course.
Which we saw in the Dark Knight's Awesome. Those, I got to talk to Commissioner S. And, yes.
And now if we have a good scene for Essence to go off on, this is a great fucking line for her to go out
First of all, Jerome was fantastic in this.
He was.
This whole sequence is really great. And it's really nicely intercut, too. Again,
so if you don't mind, can I recite Essence?
Go on.
Okay. Very soon, young man, you will be dead, and the world will go on without you. You will be nothing, and the world won't even remember your name.
And of course, just considering what this guy's gonna do to the city.
Of course, she's dead wrong. Yeah.
And of course, now this is a huge thing with whether Joker or Joker archetype here. It's this great thing of Joker does have a profound fear of being forgotten. Actually, in the let's just say in the current the new Arkham game, they do linger on the legacy of the Joker, and that is a big fear he had. That is a huge fear he had deep down.
Right.
And that's in kind of Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. He kind of hates being kind of a footnote in the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's like actually a profound fear of Jokers that he'll never admit. It's kind of this idea that's being brought up here. It's really interesting.
And then, Jerome, he's having nothing of it. He's just like, we're going to spread madness across the city like a virus. And then...
remember, there's nothing more... and you know why? And then Greenwood from behind also dressed like a cop holding the camera, prepared to make their statement. Again, I love also that's in the center of the police department, too, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Because, again, all the big stuff in the GCP happens in the center. Because remember, Gordon was up in the center. Essen came to his rescue in the center. Now she's about to be made an example of in the center and says, there's nothing more contagious than the laughter.
Joker. That's my line.
Yep, my line. Just instantly, that's something Joker would do.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just instantly shoot the guy for stealing his punchline. You never do. You never take the punchline. You never take his line.
By the way, so just really randomly, something dark that never gets pointed out in Peter Pan. Remember when Captain Hook shoots that one guy who's singing with the accordion?
Yeah.
He just shoots him dead. He just kills that guy just randomly because he was annoying him.
Oh, Joker does that constantly.
Just thought I'd bring that up in a Disney movie.
Remember, there's actually in one of the animated tie-in comics to the animated series. It was so brilliant. It's like Joker's trying to send these ominous videos to the rooms. The lights are turned out in the room so he doesn't reveal that he is the Joker. And basically, a dumb henchman will turn on them. Hey, boss, what you doing down here? And the Joker will instantly shoot the guy off screen, saying, just like someone lock that door. Just really ticked off. Anyway, so then Essen spits in his face as he's laughing at her.
Oh, how strangely pleasant! Do it again.
Then she headbutts him, and a little bit of blood running down those. How's that for leaving a mark?
Oh, you got me. My turn.
And again, this Jerome, he's definitely focusing on the pain aspect. Joker loves causing pain to people, which is Jason Todd type stuff here, folks, which is never good. It says, "Oh, my turn." Whenever someone who is going to be Joker says, "My turn," you want to run 10 miles the other way if you hear that.
Oh, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna hurt you real bad. Or maybe in your case, I'll just kill you.
Well, remember, I think he might have done more than. I think he might have led up to that. That's what I think.
Oh dear.
Like the speculation with not so brutally, but I think it's kind of speculation about what happened to Barbara Gordon. I'm saying I think he played around with her a little more before that.
Whoa.
I'm saying I think he might shot her kind of in the stomach.
All right. I get the picture.
I think he might have hurt her a lot. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
I get the picture.
I'm saying I think he just tortured her.
Okay. So Jim's passed out in the alleyway.
This is my favorite part of the whole episode.
It's really well shot. He slowly gets his footing. He's all disorientated.
Best directed part of this episode. Mm-hmm. I remember I saw this in the episode promo, and I loved this. And the way it was really well edited in the promo for this episode. Just seeing it here full force, just Gordon after being brutally beaten by Amygdala, just getting up and just realizing as Barbara pointed out in the alley, she said, I wonder how bad things have gotten while you left. And again, it's her pointing out that your job comes before anything, and of course there's going to be a cost for that, which I think is linking to a grander idea of Gordon, the cost of Gordon's deal with the devil with the Penguin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's going to come back into play.
Yes, and if you really want to think about it, I'm going to bring this idea up right now. Well, I'm going to save it for after us. Let's keep going. I'm sorry, okay. It's big. So, so this is great, grandiose, heroic. This shot almost made for me. I just loved it. It's just Gordon, beating up Gordon, is getting up in the alley, blood all over his face, just kind of hobbling as fast as he can through the thin alley. Oh, yeah. I love that shot.
So we see Kringle and Enigma survived. They're both kind of shaken up. Gordon walks in. Tompkins comes to him. She said she heard gunfire and hid. And then he kind of explains that Barbara lured him away, and I imagine that probably doesn't make Tompkins too happy. But
I have some speculation about that. We'll get to.
All right, and then we get to Essence. Oh boy, oh boy.
He's bleeding out, and you can assume like Drew might have done some horrible, painful stuff to her. Mm-hmm. It's like I think like her face might be a little cut on the side. I couldn't tell.
Yeah.
I'm saying I think he might hurt her a lot before he shot her and leave her to bleed out, which is a horrible way to go too, by the way. Bleeding out.
Jim's trying to be supportive. He's like, "No, Chief, hang in there. We're going to get you help." And then, of course, she knows she's done. So, like any good heroic character, she offers a word of advice on the way out. She says, "It's a new day, Jim."
What I was saying before I left was like the importance of a new day there. It's just
right.
That's the line they bonded over. And Gordon gave her that line. He's the one who said it's a new day, the GCP. Then she took that as her own in this season. It's an important line.
And then I really love how the Gotham theme plays over her.
Oh yeah.
So yeah. Final thoughts about the Essence character? Kind of memorialize her a little bit.
Well, Essence always, the Jim Gordon character, Essence has always had an important role. Because usually, as you saw in year one, Diggy, it's usually a role of like she was the temptation of like a reward on the job for Gordon. Sure. She was the ultimate temptation for him. She was a cop and she got it. And he didn't have to hide anything from her. There was always an attraction there. And in this show, it was a little different, that he did have respect for her. And, she kind of laid out she was basically Bullock, she was like Bullock in that they both did the corrupt acts for survival, but Essence had aspirations to not be corrupt, and like she was closer to it than Bullock was, and she just did it purely out of when things got too bad. She pointed out, like, no, this is crazy. We cannot do this. Unfortunately, first season she didn't get much time to kind of have more characterized moments. She was just kind of the.
I feel like the first season, ever since the moment where she stands up for Gordon, I think that's where she started to kind of. Yeah, get a little more interesting.
Like when she had more hope, as she progressively got more hope, she got to be a better character. But still, it was a slow progression at first. But then she got to flourish a little more, and that's the direction they were pushing. And it ended here. So the decision to kill her. It's let me get to it here now. Now she's dead. I can bring up the masterful theory I have here.
Sure.
I love, and I think they're laying this out there, that if you really think about it, all of this. If you look at all this, is definitely related to that correlation between Gordon and the Penguin. Think about the big thing. Remember, everyone has a cobblepot. The idea that you have a mob kill, and that always makes you corrupt. And there'll always be something on you, and that was the idea. And of course, if you look at this, none of this would have happened if Gordon didn't get back on the GCPD. All this chaos. For all we know, Barbara was the reason the GCPD was targeted, because she had connections to Gordon.
That's probably true.
And of course, the bigger, if you want to keep looking at and keep prying there, you could also say, well, if Gordon wasn't at GCPD, Loeb would still be around. Loeb it couldn't have happened to a nicer guy if it happened to Loeb. Again, Essen could have been spared. And if you look at it deeper, it's because Gordon, didn't pull the trigger way back in season 1 on the Penguin.
Sure.
Because Gordon didn't kill Penguin back in the day, chaos and monsters and things have gotten 10 times worse than the first season for Gotham.
So you're saying that Gordon is almost kind of like a Batman type figure in his own right, and that his presence isn't really helping anything. It's only making things worse.
Yes, if you really look at it, because his decision to stand up against corruption has in fact has scarred the city worse than he could have possibly imagined.
And Bruce basically points that out last episode too.
Because remember, if he didn't if he didn't kill the Penguin, the corruption would have still, corruption and the mob would have still gone on flourishing. No chaos, no monsters, no Penguin uprising. Of course, Penguin being around, becoming king of Gotham, that threw the whole mob thing out the window.
Of course.
And again, that brings us to this state currently. So again, this is all because of Gordon not killing the Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
It always harkens back to that moment with all this chaos that's going on here. And again, just innocent people. That's the purpose of this kill, just to show that, Gordon's a character who can't really have a happy ending. Even I'm not saying they play the whole romantic interest between him and Essence. Still, the people Gordon cares about are going to be suffering a great deal because of him trying to do good. And it's him justifying that corrupt action, wanting to do a lot of good. And the person that epitomized that most was Essen. Remember the whole brand? It's a new day in Gotham. Well,
of course.
And of course, as Harvey Dent has said, and another Harvey Dent, day is the darkest before the dawn. This is that day is coming, but it's going to be a long day coming.
I'm going to make a bold prediction and say that Tompkins is going to be lucky to make it out of this season alive.
I got fears for Tompkins. It's not about death. I'll give you my fears for Tompkins. Spec. It's, again, something you haven't seen yet, but I'll tell you about it if we have time. So,
all right, so let's quickly get through the rest of this.
Right, but seriously, moving death, and it's a gutsy move. I didn't see
absolutely
it
a moving
because, again, Essen is kind of an important character to Gordon in one way or another. So I didn't see it's like a Maroni death. I didn't expect it at all.
And I think it really, I think it's going to set the stage really well for what's to come.
They're really approaching this from a thematic, like this is what serves the story more than just like what serves the continuity. So they're really kind
absolutely.
All right.
Okay, so we have, let's see, we have Fox.
Lucius,
yeah, Fox is looking at the computer. Bruce has a lot of questions. He asks him about his father. Lucius doesn't know much because Thomas Wayne, understandably, very private person. But Lucius basically just helped with the technical resources.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what's on the computer.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it's gonna take some time to get this thing fixed. And it's a really nice moment between Bruce. I love Bruce and Lucius here. Again, really nice. It's like I had the best of intentions for Bruce Wayne. It's that kind of scene. It's just him talking to Bruce here. Bruce saying just genuinely thanks for your help. And when Lucius Fox says this, and this actor is really great for Lucius Fox. He says, I loved your father.
And I regret not telling him that.
Not helping him more.
Yeah.
Really nice. And then Alfred comes bearing some bad news.
Hand me the soldering iron.
There's work to be done, Bruce. Really nice bit there. Anyway, so then Alfred breaks some news to Bruce, and we see the aftermath of the GCPD massacre there. So again, a lot of cops, they are either shot or smartly. You'll notice not all the cops were dead. I won't point that out. So Alvarez is most likely alive because they all smartly, again, they played dead. A lot of them did play dead. That's what you do in those types of situations. You try to play dead if you can.
We get a really good kind of foreshadowing shot of Kringle being very protective over Nigma. It's like, are you sure you're okay, Mr. Nigma? I'm like, oh boy, it's begun. It's begun.
It's like Back to the Future. It's like the nurse phone for the patient syndrome, she's indebted. That's gonna be Nigma's date with Miss Kringle. That's how it's gonna happen. She's indebted to him, and it's gonna.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
So then this is a sweet bit. Again, just kind of harkening back to the pilot. I really like it. Again, that alley stuff also kind of harkening back. Remember, all of Gotham starts in an alley.
Of course.
Gotham needs an alley. So
and a warehouse.
Well, everything needs a warehouse. So basically, Bruce is looking for Gordon, and Gordon again, bloody, beaten, but still, Gordon just Bruce runs up to him, says, "I'm sorry that what I said to you last time. I wasn't too nice to you last time. What I was saying. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're okay. You've been a good friend." And he gives him a hug. Me being a Batman Gordon scene. Those are my favorite kind of scenes. I gotta tell you, that really touched me. Like, oh my god, that's.
Well, I like the symbolism of it's a really nice, tender moment, and yet Gordon's face is still covered in blood.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There's something kind of symbolic about that, I think.
It is, and again, it's so what's so moving about it too. It's just the idea that these two are going to be kind of that reverse position, and usually Gordon's the one checking in on Batman,
exactly,
and through the ringer, and usually saying, "Are you okay? Can I get you some medical attention?" Anything? No, Jim, I'm fine. It's the reverse of that. It's so beautiful. It's such again, he comforted him in the alleyway back in the pilot. Now it's the other way around. After a trauma, that's beautiful.
It is.
Okay.
And then let's see what's next.
So then we're at the office scene.
office scene.
We're in the Essence office, and this is a nice bit here. So basically, it's a really quiet scene. It's late at night, so again, deep in the aftermath. Gordon's just looking at Essence office, like kind of reconciling. Yeah, she's gone. It's partly my fault.
And who returns? Who walks in? But our favorite character,
Harvey Bullock, fully suited up, hat and all.
Yes.
And also, you'll notice,
Good
I was
call.
reminded of something in this scene, by the way. Look on Essence's desk. They did mention she had a family, so she had kids.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if we're going to see some of that come fall back.
Maybe.
Anyway, so yeah, Bullock. This is a sweet bit. So Bullock's back because, of course, Essence. She was a good woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's a good cop. So the two of these two guys, they bonded with her. There's so many kind of exposition scenes, but they bonded together. They all wanted to try to make a difference. And hello. 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 Yeah, he'll be back, folks. Sorry. Let's give him one moment here. Just a minute. And he's back. Okay. You back?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Very good. So, Bullock's returned, and it's Gordon said, "Look, I appreciate what you're doing here, but you don't have to. I know you don't have to risk everything here."
Yeah. And then he asks about Scotty.
Well, but look, she'll either understand or she won't. We are who we are.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Really nice bit. Just Bullock. It shows you Bullock's such an honorable guy. Like they knows now they're definitely short staffed. That's been broadcast all over the airways. But I know you heard about it. It's. Gotham's in need of some good cops, and I gotta put my hat in the ring quite literally here. He's wearing his hat.
But I really do hope that we see the bar still. I hope the bar just doesn't get dropped.
I can assume. I'm just hoping Scotty didn't leave him. Hoping she's just run.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe we'll see Scotty at the bar.
Yes, I would like that to be. I love the idea of after a long day's work, just go to the bar.
Let's go to the bar.
Okay, then
it's on me, Jim.
Then here's an episode ender for you. Oh boy.
I think this is probably more creepy than the fucking Joker tape from The Dark Knight, if that's possible.
I wouldn't go that far.
You wouldn't go that far?
This is a classic signature of Joker, and it embodies that well. Joker's always about Joker's always about interrupting the broadcast and being very theatrical on the television, announcing the crimes and leaving videos like this. And of course, him dressed I just love him dressed like a cop. Remind me of the original appearance. It's always great.
Sure.
So where are the Maniacs? And I love the idea that really only 3 members of the Maniacs are left now. It's
it's kind of like the Red Hood gang in a way.
He keeps killing Joker. He keeps killing them off.
Oh God.
Anyway, so as you can tell, I'm the shot caller. Him literally.
You're all prisoners. What you call sanity is just a prison in your mind. You're cogs in the machine. And then this is the part that really creeped me out. He just yells at the camera. He's like, "Wake up!" It's really dramatic change in tone, very suddenly.
Yeah, and just tells him to be free. Be free. Smile.
Smile. And then he hears sirens in the distance, and he's like, "Oh, time to go."
I love how he takes the guy's hat. They use the guy's a hat rack for his hat, by the way. So I love that.
And then we've seen this shot in a few trailers, but he's like, "You ain't seen nothing yet.
Be back soon. Hold on to your hat. You ain't seen nothing yet."
Great ending to the episode. And then we get the Gotham logo. Fantastic. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Okay. So, promo for next episode. Let's lay the scene in here. So, Jerome's taking the stage next episode. It's going to be all Jerome next episode.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you think maybe we'll get some backstory?
Oh, well, let me tell you what's happening next. Let me run through it. So, Jerome's taking the center stage here, and he's captured his father for a bit in the episode. Remember? So, Mr. Salamanca is returning.
Okay.
So, basically, he's saying, there's this guy. He sees potential. We see a bit of Galavan. And very much him saying, "Look, Jerome, you don't have to do this." And we just know some bad's going to happen to his father.
Not my Tio! What did you do to my Tio?
Then, importantly, I'm fascinated to see where this is going to go. I hope it goes in a really awesome direction, but it looks like, from the promo, it looks a lot like Jerome is basically there's like some sort of gala event he's hijacked going on. And it looks like Bruce Wayne's his hostage.
Ooh, okay.
And Alfred's like, I think Alfred and Gordon like guns drawn. It's looking really cool. it's like
I mean, obviously they're not going to kill off Bruce Wayne.
I know, but still, it's the idea that potential Joker and Bruce Wayne on stage together.
Right, of course.
And then one of the last lines of the episode is like, "No one's getting out of here alive."
Mm-hmm.
Detective Gordon, no one's getting out of here alive.
All right.
Okay, so also here's been some new confirmed facts from an awesome little behind the scenes promo for the season. We have new details. So they've confirmed Ben McKenzie has confirmed Dr. Hugo Strange is going to be in the season.
That's great.
I've been looking forward to that guy.
More to do than Two-Face.
Here's what I'm hoping they do. Here's some speculate what they're doing here with them. I'm really speculating that make him plot relevant, so he's not just a doll mocker.
Exactly.
I'm hoping the idea is that here's the smart way they could approach this: is that if Hugo Strange, as a pawn or as a part of Galavan's grand design, is driving people crazy. So, like, let's say he drives the Mad Hatter crazy. Mad Hatter goes in for Jervis Tetch goes into some therapy. And he comes out with an Alice in Wonderland obsession.
Okay.
Because of Hugo Strange or Mr. Freeze, he comes in for counseling over something. He goes a little nutty or something like that. But more so with Tetch. I'm just saying more so. I'm speculating a little bit of Freeze, but mainly Jervis Tetch would be the perfect example. But I'm saying if you had a string of these bad guys being a product of Hugo Strange, and of course if he's just the therapist to Bruce Wayne, of course that could be very fascinating too.
Oh, if he just started off as a therapist to Bruce Wayne and nothing else, that would be really interesting.
Again, Hugo Strange, always a fixation on that Bruce Wayne. It was revealed that Indian Hill will serve a role in the season, which, if I were to speculate, Indian Hill will be a connection to the Firefly gang we're going to get this season, which, again, could be plot relevant, could be neat.
That's right. Those guys have to pop up.
The territories of Gotham. I mean, of course, Indian Hill was a sticking point last again, so Maroni had that territory and from Falcone.
Right.
I'm sure Penguin, will definitely remember. Speaking of which, we know that it was revealed recently for episode 5, Penguin and Galavan will be teaming up.
Episode 5 is called Scarification.
Ooh.
Scarification, I guess.
Yeah. And also, it would seem, again, potentially supporting the Coravals direction with Galavan, that Penguin and Galavan will be forging an alliance against the Wayne family.
Ooh, okay.
So Galavan has a grudge against the Wayne family. He has something against the history of Gotham, and the Wayne family is at the top of the list. So he's going to be going after, which sounds very Court of Owls-esque, having something against the families of Gotham. And something that's been revealed is that Galavan will have a good grasp on what Oswald's weaknesses are, and the big one being his mother.
Oh boy!
So we know his mother. So we know his mother's going to factor in big time this season.
We've been worried about Mrs. Cobblepoot for a long time.
Let the worrying begin. They also said, and this gives me hope for his sister. By the way, they've directly said that Tigress will be a mentor to Selena Kyle.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which again, with the
hopefully a better mentor than Barbara was.
Certainly, but I could think about it. So Selena Kyle, they've also mentioned with her characterization, she's going to the most, like the actress just mentioned. She's going with the most. She's kind of waging a war within herself if she's on the good guy side or the bad guy side, because the bad guys have the more advantages. But
the good guys, Michael.
But you see what I mean, though, right? It's the idea that she's kind of still she has connections to Bruce Wayne, the good side, but still the bad side has more advantages. And I'm sure Tigress will be someone to definitely sway her towards the bad and at least teach her some whip skills.
Sure.
Yeah, Tabitha, you gotta admit, she seems put together and really efficient at her job, and she seems, she has some.
Yeah, she does, skills. But that's basically the only thing that we know about her is that she's really efficient at her job. We don't know about her as a person,
and then
that's kind of my problem.
Hopefully, going forward, we'll get some detail within that relationship growing.
Yeah, we'll see.
One could hope.
Let me ask you this. Let me throw this at you.
Yeah.
Who do you think's going to be the new commissioner? Is it going to be Jim?
Well, we know this. We know who's going to be we don't know who the commission. I doubt that he's going to be commissioner, because I know.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. Not yet.
We know that the person who's going to be running the GCPD is going to be Captain Nathaniel Barnes, who will be, I assume, coming next. My guess is next episode because they have to have someone to run things.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be Michael Chiklis' character.
Right. Yeah, he's coming into it.
And he's going to be like on Gordon's side, so like no Loeb-like tension or anything. I still kind of hope Loeb factors into things down the line because I still think Gordon needs to defeat Loeb to kind of ascend in some way. Like we
need to see Falcone this season. He hasn't showed up yet.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna get Falcone, but I mean, I'd like to have him. Like to have a little.
Well, I think he's gonna show up at least once. I mean, I don't think he's gonna be as major of a player as he was last season for sure, but he's still in there. He's still part of the game, even though he's retired.
I think we're going to see, from what I've seen in the clip, it looks like Enigma's going to be going up against some jockey cops, just some some bullies like before. Miss Creel still hasn't learned her lesson. She's still hanging around jockey cops.
That's rather unfortunate.
Well, we'll see. Well, I'm saying there's like her and 3 cops around her, and Enigma's walking in confidently. So oh boy.
All right, I want to wrap this up before we run into any more technical stuff. So
sure. Let me run you by my main concern with the next episode. Okay, so here's what I'm worried about. So far, I think they've been doing great with 2 episodes. This next one, though, we're going to get a plot line that could be the first sticking point of the season for us. Could be the first Barbara-esque moment of the season if it's not careful. I'm genuinely worried about this. So there was a clip released for the next episode. I haven't watched it, but I heard the description. I saw like a few seconds of it. But I'm still just the idea of this worries me.
Okay.
It looks like there might be a love triangle happening.
Oh no! No!
Well, it looks like it might be between Leslie Tompkins and Alfred Pennyworth.
What?
Now, let me explain this in case you're confused.
What?
Let me explain where this is coming from. Why these two?
Okay, I mean, I'm kind of down. I mean, Alfred deserves some loving too, but...
Okay, I'm just saying the idea is like the scene... I didn't watch it, also. Bear in mind, this might just be people just reading into it and they just label
by
it
the
as
way,
the article name.
Just really quick, because it popped into my head, are we assuming that Ivy is as dead as Montoya at this point?
Well, more like Ellen, but...
but
we'll see.
We're assuming we're not going to see her again, maybe?
We had to wait to see what the Selena stuff is this season before we can make a call like that.
Right. Because I get the feeling that the writers are just kind of pushing her under the rug a little bit.
Probably,
but anyways.
Yeah, they'll probably like save her for like season 3 or something.
Exactly. Anyways, continue.
My point is, so this stems from the idea that in the comics when Leslie Tompkins was traditionally older, she and Alfred had a relationship.
Okay.
That's where it's stemming from. Now, the reason I have an issue with this, it's not the worst idea in the world to give Alfred some loving, of course, because we like Alfred.
We love Alfred.
Of course,
Mike, but
Miranda Baccarin, of course, beautiful actor, wonderful character. And again, it's not a bad pairing in itself. And again, the idea there's some connections to Bruce Wayne. My issue with this, though, is that what it would seem like on the surface, and again, I'm not saying they're going this way, and again, this might be people reading into a love triangle. I'm just saying there's a risk of it. That it might be this idea that because Jim is going after Barbara, Leslie might turn on him. And I think that's stupid if that happens.
Yeah, that's kind of got to be in the back of our mind after what happened this
Because there were 2 moments through the first 2 episodes where it was basically when Barbara was in the mix, Leslie, especially in this episode, when Merrily says, I went after Barbara, she gives there's a moment of pause. And I'm hoping that's not like a bit of jealousy, because that's going to be stupid if that happens. And you know me, if that happens, like
you went after Barbara to stop a crazy woman because you wanted to get back with her. How dare you?
Which of course he didn't. Obviously he didn't. He's a crazy person who has a personal vendetta against us.
Yeah.
But still, if she goes, it's because Gordon's lost himself, she's going to just go with Alfred. I'm still saying that you're not giving Gordon the benefit of a doubt here. You give him a chance.
Well, we'll see where it goes, because I think this might be taken out of context. So hopefully they play it right.
I'm just saying, so far the season's been really 2 episodes in.
So far, 2 episodes in, I think the season's been a fucking roller coaster compared to the first season.
I just wanted to address that. That's going to be my main sweating point for this next episode.
Let's see where it goes.
Okay, real quick. The last thing is this is the most important thing. So in that little promo thing, the monsters. It's called Monsters Are Coming.
Okay.
they revealed, Miranda Baccarin actually revealed, in fact, saying, "Oh, Cameron Monaghan's great as the Joker, or is he?" And then when that happened,
you know what? I'm sorry. I'm
let me
sick of this
finish.
bullshit.
Let me tell you why.
Okay.
This is important.
Go
so
ahead.
When she said that, what they showed, when she said directly, or is he, they showed clips of people really up close smiling, and the implication is that we're going to see might be seeing various jokes, and they are obscured so much that you can't tell who they are because it's going to be a surprise.
So is this going to go back to the initial idea we thought this show was going to do, which would have like multiple potential people for the Joker?
Now that's what the little promo suggests. That's what it suggests in that framing.
But I don't get why they'd go back to that though, because they've built up Jerome so much. It's like, it just seems stupid to me at this point to not have Jerome be the Joker. It just seems kind of pointless.
And I'll tell you what.
If he's not the Joker, then what the fuck is he?
And I'll tell you what.
He has literally every characteristic of the Joker. Everything.
Well, not everything.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'll tell you why I think they're still safe with this right now, Tiki. It's because of how the episode ended, with Jerome kind of making his introduction there. On GC after the shootout in GCPD and everything. What I think that is saying is that again he is these are all the earmarks, barring, again, the moment they've gone too far is if they show him, like, with a playing card saying the Joker. You're just like Joker playing cards, or if he's cutting smiles into people's faces. That's going to be a step too far, obviously.
Or if he fucks up his own face.
Yeah, if he's in the clown makeup or if he's doing that stuff, then it's too far.
Sure.
So obviously, when he gets to that point, then he's absolute Joker, and then they've blown it because you can never have Joker purely before Batman. Now, what I think they're doing, and this is clever, and this is their win-win scenario at the moment, is that they're keeping it vague enough that he is inspired. These are all the trademarks of Joker's methodology. Him like taking over the airwaves, putting it out there, although they're all the showmanship, all the presentational stuff, all that stuff that we know about Joker, that there's like his theatrical elements. Now, imagine if he's inspiring madness throughout the city of Gotham, other people might imitate that. Like the Red Hoods. They have Red Hoods and they put on different red masks, and that's the idea of the Red Hood. And what if that was the same way for Joker? So you'd have other people emulating that guy, and you'd have a bunch of potential Jokers throughout Gotham. So down the line, not that we'll ever see this, because they've said the minute he puts on the cape, that's the end of the show. They've confirmed that. So that's where the show is going to end, ultimately. So you'll never see this episode, but we can assume that down the line, when they're looking for Joker, they might point to Jerome first, saying, well, here's our lead, but that would be a story we're never going to see of, like, well, it could be this guy, but then there's another guy who imitated him, and there might be another guy, because before there was a Red Hood gang, also have some similar tactics of Joker. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm saying it could be like the idea of madness spreading throughout Gotham of people emulating.
But at this point, I understand what you're saying, and we could just argue about it and just go in circles about it forever. But at this point, he's the Joker to me. I mean, until they show us otherwise, it just seems stupid to build him up as, like, all these characteristics of the Joker for it to just be a red herring.
Yeah, but look, that's, well, literally a red herring.
Well, okay, let me put it this way. If it's the Joker, then it's the most obvious Joker ever. If it's a fucking red herring, then it's also kind of an obvious red herring. I don't want to talk about it anymore because I feel like we just go in circles with it. I just think like with all this build up, I mean, I understand what you're saying about this character being an influence on other characters, but it just seems like it would be a waste. I don't know. It just seems like if we're spending all this energy on this one guy, and then suddenly throughout the course of the series, it's like, no, this guy is actually the Joker, and this guy was the Joker's predecessor. I'm like, I that would piss me off. It would straight piss me off.
Well, this last thing I'll say on it that's not just going into the same thing we've been arguing, just kind of agreeing with your point, Tiki, is that if they're going in the Snyder direction with it, was that you have a bit of ambiguity there, but what you're being presented with essentially is, okay, this guy's Joker. So basically, that's what we're getting presented with here, is that this guy, for all intents and purposes, is our Joker for the show, and he's doing it so well. So, I mean, regardless, I mean, basically, anything else that's kind of ambiguous after that is basically, that's a safety net of saying if anyone's not happy with it, this is what we fall back on. But right now, you're getting Joker, essentially, and it's a lot of fun. And I think the actor's doing a great job at it. So I think we're safe either way with that. That's what I'm saying. They're building a safety net. That's smart enough. Anyway, so that's overall the thoughts on the episode. I thought it was I thought it was a lot of fun. I thought it was great. Again, some great madness going on in the city of Gotham. Cheerleaders on fire.
Yeah, I mean, I was very skeptical about this whole rise of the villain thing, but I think they've been doing it really well. I think it's ramped up the plot, it's ramped up the tension, it's ramped up the stakes, and I also just think all these insane villains are just a lot of fun. You've got that scene with the cheerleaders that's just straight out of the '60s show in a way. You know,
the GCPD sequence was brilliant. You know, just
that was intense. That was like straight up, almost kind of like Red Wedding style intense. If you get the Red Wedding reference from Game of Thrones, I don't know if you do or not.
It was chaos everywhere you turn. Of course, that Gordon going down the alley shot just did it for me. It's like, oh my God, this is Gordon's worst nightmare. All because of that one corrupt action. All this madness has happened. Is fallen upon the city.
So I think we can agree that these first 2 episodes, man, they've set things off to a strong start. So I just hope that they can continue the quality from here.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, this is a show where it's like in the first season, there were definitely things I enjoyed. I thought the Penguin storyline was a great, really super well-written storyline in the first season. I thought other aspects could be honed in a little bit more. And I think with season 2, just at least through the 2 episodes that we've seen, I've not seen one scene of filler so far. I've not seen one scene where I'm like, okay, I get it. This is just kind of running through the motions. Like, everything that we've been given has, like, tied into the main themes, tied into the overall story, you know, expanded people's characters. It's been good. It's really
building towards an idea, and I think the most important thing this season, with 2 episodes in so far, is it's very cinematic. They're telling a story. They got a plan mapped out, it would seem, so far.
Exactly. So, all right, I guess that's it. That's it, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, go ahead. Take us out.
Right. So, remember, folks, no matter how dark and scary the world may be right now, there will be light. There will be light.
Until next time, when we go exploring Gotham yet again!
You ain't seen nothing yet!
Give me a no!
Oh!
Give me an N!
Ren!
Give me another O!
Oh!
What's that spell?
Oh no!